Real talk, real people, relevant conversations. The I Am Qiana Scales podcast is dedicated to real conversations about issues, emotions, and experiences that affects the lives of everyday people.
I know that's right.
Welcome to the I Am Qiana Scales podcast. Welcome to the I Am Qiana Scales podcast, proudly sponsored by the Closet Experience Boutique. Shop online at theclosetexperience.com and enjoy 10% off with code PODCAST. That's PODCAST. What's in your closet? Being a dream chaser is not for the faint of heart. It requires relentless perseverance, unshakable belief, and the courage to venture beyond the comfort of certainty. Dreams are not handed to us on silver platters. They are earned through sleepless nights, failure, and rising again, stronger each time. The path to them is often rugged, filled with doubts and setbacks, but it is in the pursuit that we discover our true strength. A dream chaser understands that the journey is just as vital as the destination. That's something right there. It's the struggle, the growth, and the unyielding ambition that greatness is forged. Every step taken, no matter how small, brings us closer to realizing the vision in our hearts. For it is not the dream itself, but the transformation along the way that makes the chase worthwhile. Everyone, hello there! I am Qiana Scales, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Dream Chaser series. Today's guest is nothing short of remarkable, Nicole Dansby. Her journey is a true testament to resilience and determination. From the ashes of a devastating fire that destroyed her storefront to rebranding and elevating her business to new heights, Nicole has demonstrated that setbacks are merely setups for incredible comebacks. As the visionary behind Air Illusions, formerly T&T exclusive candles, Nicole has transformed her passion into a thriving enterprise, making a significant mark in the world of entrepreneurship. With an MBA and invaluable corporate experience at a Fortune 100 company, she masterfully combines strategic insight with a heartfelt approach to business. But Nicole's talents don't stop there. As a licensed realtor, she is dedicated to guiding clients on their journeys to finding their dream homes, providing them not just a house, but a place to create memories. Additionally, she runs a bookkeeping and tax service specifically designed to empower startups, ensuring that aspiring entrepreneurs have the financial tools they need to succeed. Beyond her impressive professional accomplishments, Nicole is also a devoted caregiver. Alongside her sister Twanda, she provides unwavering support to their mother, who is bravely battling advanced Alzheimer's disease. This dual role as both a business leader and full-time caregiver showcases her incredible capacity for love and commitment. Nicole is not just an innovator, she's a beacon of strength, balancing multiple roles with grace and grit. Beyond excited to have her here today to share her journey, insights on resilience, and tips for anyone navigating their own challenges. Welcome to the I Am Qiana Scales podcast, Nicole! How you doing?
I am amazing. How are you?
I am wonderful today. I'm so glad to have you as a guest on this Dream Chaser series.
Thank you for that amazing introduction. I was like, wow.
You was like, am I talking about what she's talking about me? Yes.
It's humbling.
Oh, thank you. I'm just humbled to have you here. Let's go on and jump into this interview. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. As we dive into your story, can you recount the earliest memory that sparked your imagination that set you on your path as a dreamer?
I can remember as early as 9 or 10 knowing I wanted to be an entrepreneur.
Wow.
In my neighborhood, I sold freeze cups.
Okay, you're a freeze cup little girl.
We were.
Come on.
So that was my earliest endeavor into entrepreneurship. And I had the bug. But I come from a family of entrepreneurs.
Okay.
So as early as I can remember, all of my family members have worked for themselves. So I just think it was just second nature. So not necessarily something that, it was just already in me.
It was in you, that runs through your veins, baby. Yes. Entrepreneurship. So what does the term dream chaser signify for you?
So I'm definitely a dreamer. And I think for me, it's taking your imagination, your wildest thoughts, your wildest dreams, and them becoming your reality.
Yes, most
And so
definitely.
it's the journey though.
Mm-hmm.
But to visualize something and then it becomes reality
Mm.
or beyond what you thought reality was.
Yes.
I can't even describe the feeling or the process, but it's once you get it once, once you accomplish that first thing, you won't stop.
It's like that itch, like, okay, what can I do next? What can I
Yes.
accomplish next?
What's next?
So when did you realize it was time to leave your 9 to 5 and just to go out and pursue your vision full time?
So my first try was in 2004.
Okay.
I had a popsicle truck.
Okay.
We were doing really well on the popsicle truck, and I had purchased real estate, so I had made a couple of investments, and it was at that point it was like, okay, I'm gonna try this now. I don't need the job to purchase the real estate, so let me try this. I know I can make money. I don't think I've ever done anything without testing it out first. So I had the popsicle trucks while I still had full-time employment. And they were doing well enough that I knew it could sustain me. So I thought.
Oh, y'all hear that? So she thought.
So I thought. And so February 2004, I left my corporate job. I worked for Kroger in the regional accounting. I left that job. And I became a full-time popsicle truck owner.
Okay.
And so that was February. April of that same year, a piece on the truck broke the brakes. And the person lost the piece for the truck. And it was an old truck.
Oh, wow.
So I was shut down for like a month and they didn't make the part anymore. So I had to go to salvage yards to find it, to get the truck back up and running. Finally got the truck back up and running. And July the 8th, 2004, my foolproof plan failed me because the truck flipped over on Bradley Parkway.
Oh, Jesus, my God.
Yeah.
And you were in the truck?
Me, my niece, and one of my co-workers' sons, because it was the summer, so they were helping me work. Oh, wow. So I had 2 teenagers and myself, and we flipped on Bradley Parkway. But God gives me favor. So even though we flipped, that truck was totaled. Nobody was hurt. There were no injuries. The truck was shaking and weaving and bobbing, and everybody behind me seen what was coming. I didn't have a clue we were going to flip. Oh, so wow. Everybody stopped. So if there were no other cars involved. But that was my first endeavor into full-time entrepreneurship, like stepping away from my job. And then from there is when I went to real estate school. Okay. So I've been a realtor 19 years.
Come on, 19 years.
Yes. So, So then I went back to work for a few years, got some degrees, got some more corporate experience. And then I prayed to be laid off.
Oh, wow.
And so God gave me just what I asked for plus. So I asked to be laid off. I was like, if you could cover my mortgage and my car note, I'll get out here and do the rest. I started TNT Exclusive Candles in 2009. So 2011, I got laid off that July the 8th.
On July the 8th, okay.
Flipped truck July the 8th.
I was just going to say.
Got laid off July the 8th. Got a severance package, got 6 months pay. Got a few other perks. And that's when I finally gave the business a name. When I was intentional about it. I was already making money doing it. And I already had the tax business. But that's when I said, okay, we got to have a name. And so our original name was TNT Exclusive Candles. My brother him and his business partner had a detail shop. And so I was an accountant. So I used to go over there and keep the books. Well, people started to want to purchase the car scents. And so me and him kind of was like, okay, let's turn this into something. And so we started with car fragrances. And then we hired a chemist to teach us how to create the candles. And he didn't really teach us how to make them, but just to understand the science.
I was just going to say the science behind it.
And so once that happened, a lot of trial, a lot of error, a lot of error.
Y'all hear that? A lot of error. Being an entrepreneur is not easy.
And it was not overnight.
Yes.
And so business started to do well. 2013, April. Okay, so let's start. 2013 was started out amazing. When I tell y'all, when you trust God, he'll set that thing up. But then that's not to say that you won't have things happen. But he'll set that thing up. So February, we were invited to come to the Bronner Brothers hair show in Atlanta.
Okay.
So we went down there and we sold out. Like, we had an amazing turnout, amazing time. Then that year we did the Southern Women's Show. It was in the old convention center here in Nashville. And so we went there and we shook something. We did amazing. And then the Monday, 2 Mondays later, my building burnt down. So we lost everything. And when I say everything, we had the car wash there. We had my tax business there. We had the candles there. And it all went up into ashes. And one of the things I used to tell my clients, like especially with taxes, I was like, you don't have to worry. We're not going nowhere. My brother bought the building, so we own the property. Well, yeah, that was a lie, because the building burnt down and it was over. And so April 2013, I'd lost everything. I was devastated. I was distraught. But I knew I was going to be back here. But I just didn't know how. And I can't tell you how that felt. I felt defeated. I had a lot of emotions. I don't know. I can't even describe all the emotions that I had, but it was a lot of them. And so I was broke. I was broken, but I still had hope.
Yes.
Like I still knew that I would rebound. So the end of that year, I went back to work in corporate America. I went to work at UPS. And again, God's favor in my life. I was going to pick up a package and I got the opportunity to go talk to HR. It's like 7 o'clock at night. They shouldn't even been open. And the guard was like, if you stay here and wait on this package, I'm going to put you to work. I was like, I could use a job. Now, at this point, I had an MBA. I had 20 years of accounting experience. And he was like, well, they hiring. So I went to HR. They were hiring for a package handler, like an assistant, to get on the truck with the drivers. It paid $8 an hour. Now, I had an MBA.
I was just going to say, wait a minute now, you degreed up.
Accounting
and experience.
But I was broke. And so when you broke, you humble.
Yes, ma'am.
And so I told the lady, she said, well, it's temporary. I said, well, that's fine. I have a tax business. Tax season starts in January. So if I could just get this from now to January, I said, will I lose some weight? She said, yeah, you're going to work hard. I said, well, that's the extra perk I need. And so she said, I haven't done my taxes. And I was like, I can do them. I said, that's what I do. And she was like, I wouldn't feel comfortable giving you, a stranger, my personal information. And so at the time, I had a gentleman that I've known for a long time who was a supervisor there. And I said, I got somebody who can vouch for me, who works here. And I called him up on speakerphone, and he told him I was who I said I was, and that I was good, and I did her taxes. And so that Monday, I came back to deliver them. And she said, Nicole, I have a better position for you, and it pays more money.
Because guess what? Show thyself approved, baby. Don't get me preaching, because Qiana know I get into preaching mode. Yes, baby.
Now, it was still a temporary position. And I said, well,
but God was doing his thing.
Already working. So Christmas came. So the day after Christmas, I went in the office. I was like, hey, when is my last day going to be? And so my supervisor said, well, I think today we're pretty much over. He said, but go talk to the area manager. I think they're trying to do something. Now, on this journey, I met several people who looked like me, and they knew my story, and they were advocating for me. They were cheering for me. They were pushing for me to be great. And so I went into his office, and I was like, hey, I was trying to see when is my last day going to be. And he said, they want you in the finance department. So we're going to create a position. They're not ready for you yet. We're going to create a position.
Y'all circle that,
so we can hold you here until they're ready. And so the timing of it was perfect. And so I stayed in that department, OMS department, for maybe 3-4 months. And at the end of the summer, I got an impromptu call to give me an on-the-spot kind of question, see if I knew what I was talking about. And so I went to the finance department September that year, and I got a $30,000 raise.
Ooh.
And
I
shout
news right
the
there,
raise,
y'all.
right?
Because she needed it. She humbled herself. Sometimes I tell people you have to go a little bit under the surface to rise back up. Because see, sometimes we don't want to do that. We too busy like, I live this certain lifestyle. If you broke, you don't have a lifestyle, boo-boo.
Sure don't.
let me say that again. If you broke, you don't have a lifestyle. Quit trying to keep up, as the old folks say, with them Joneses, and humble yourself and rebuild yourself. So let me ask you this. So with all that resilience, you're a testament to resilience. How did it shape you? How did going through this shape you to help you in rebranding? You, like you said, your business, your brother's business, yeah, it went down everything. So how did that shape you moving forward? We know it humbled you. And how else did it turn you around?
I think one thing that happened is, not that I didn't know that God was, but it let me know that God was.
Yeah, that he was really real.
Period. Like all things, he is the sustainer of. He's the provider.
Yes.
And I trusted him. And so I talked to God. And I think I got closer to God because I'm like, God, you set this thing up. I prayed to be laid off. I prayed for these things to happen. And you gave them to me. And then you gave me the opportunity to go to the hair show. You gave me the Southern Women Show. We're rocking. We finally got a website. Like, all of these things are coming together. And now I find myself in a place of despair.
Yes.
And broken. And but I never, so the journey is hard, right? My faith was never shaken. I knew I would be back here. There's never been a doubt in my mind, and I'm beyond where I imagined. Right?
Right.
But the story didn't end there. So then that happened, and 2014 I quit corporate. No, 2016. So I worked about two and a half years, and I said, "Oh, I'm getting comfortable because I'm making good money. I get a check every Friday. I got full benefits." I still had the tax business. And sometimes we get comfortable with stability, right? I don't have a husband. So when I fall short, I fall short. There's no safety nets. And so 2016, late 2015, I said, I'm comfortable. And if I don't move now, this is going to be a career. And UPS is a career job, right?
Yes.
People don't go to that place and talking about I'm going to be here 2 or 3 years. No, you want to go to UPS. You want to get moving up. You want to
hit retirement if possible.
Yes. And that's your plan.
Yep.
Right? And if I was going to be there, I'm ambitious. So if I was going to be there, that's going to be my plan. Like, how do I get to the next level? Let me talk to my mentors. Let me get in position, because that's just me. But I knew that I had something special in my products. They're handmade. We have candles. We started with the room sprays. We moved to candles. But the creme de la creme is those shea butters.
Yep, that's shea butter.
And it's no way I could have put that down, because there's something so special. It's a lot of people who make shea butter, but nobody makes what I make. Humbly. Right. So if I'm being honest, if we can line some shea butters up on this table, we put 10 out here, mine's gonna be in the top 2. We put 100 out here, mine's gonna be in the top 2. We put 1,000 out here, I promise you, mine's gonna be in the top 2. And we don't even have to put no label on them. Y'all just try them, and mine's gonna be in the top 2, because it's that good. It's a gift. It's a gift. Yeah. And so when you have gifts, they'll make room for you, and it'll keep on making opportunities.
Yes.
And I couldn't put that up. I couldn't put that on the shelf. I couldn't sleep at night.
No. Look, you like, no.
I couldn't sleep at night.
Because that was your calling, that was your purpose, to provide what you knew you had, that gift with that strengthening, that shea butter to get out there.
But
like when it's in you, you can't.
Yeah.
What people don't understand, when it's in you, you'll be like, I'm not gonna do this anymore. But it keeps haunting us at night. It keeps calling, because I'm an entrepreneur too, baby. And certain stuff, it keep calling. You be like, I don't want to do this anymore. But it's something about that gift that you're providing to others.
Exactly. And so, if you would have asked me 20 years ago, I didn't know anything about shea, but I didn't know anything about candles. I was always into scents. I always liked, fresh scents, good scents. I want my house to smell good, my car to smell good, but I never was interested in making anything. It just fell into my lap. Oh, wow. And then once it happened, and I was like, whoa, I like this. And once I realized I was good at it, right? Then that's when it was like, I can't, like, I'm good at accounting. I've been doing it a long time. It's comfortable, and it's a passion. I truly enjoy helping people become entrepreneurs. I truly enjoy helping people structure their businesses, come up with game plans on how to strategize and get to the next level and elevate. Like, that's a passion of mine. It's always been. But these products that I create, like with these hands, it's something special. It's something different. I can't explain it, but it's definitely, when you know you got something, you can't let that go. Like, I don't care what it take. Like, now listen, I burnt down, right? But I still put it all back on black. Like, I'm still all in.
You got to bet on yourself, baby. Because guess what? Your testimony is powerful. And somebody needs to hear that, because somebody out there is going through the same thing. Exactly. And that's what sometimes we think it's all about us. Sometimes we go, God puts us through certain things so somebody else can see.
And I often say that. Like, if you ever heard me on live, I'm saying, like, when I quit corporate America, that was for me, right? When I left that job that had benefits and, a steady paycheck, that was for me. But when I got in the space of illusions, right? I come in contact. Do you know how many people I come in contact with? And so when I come in contact with these people, they're drawn to me humbly. Like let me stay humble, but they can see it in me. They want to tell me, I too. And I pour into strangers. I pour into people that I do know, because it just comes with it. And because I know people are watching, right? I can't give up, because it might hurt your walk.
Oh, yes.
If you see me give up, now I had every reason after that fire. Nobody would blame me after that fire. Like, this girl got an MBA, she got accounting experience. Let her go get her a secure bag and she'll be comfortable. Nobody would have blamed me for walking away. But it's somebody who hasn't even started that says, she come from where I come from, or she come from even humbler beginnings than me. And if she can do it, because there's some folks who, even though humbly I'm doing something on a level, they like, if she can do it, I know I can do it. And I want to be the encouragement for that person. So even though you don't even measure me high, but you see me doing it, and it's going to encourage you and it's going to elevate you, then I want you to have that opportunity.
And it's going to sound crazy, but Master P was my person. And I'm going to tell you why. I watched him. I'm going to date myself. But I watched him on, I believe it was 106 in Park. And he was talking about his story about selling CDs out the car. And I was like, well, if he could make it, I'm going to write me a book and I'm going to sell them books. Yes, I'm an author too, y'all. I do a lot. The Ultimate Betrayal. Yep, that's my book. I probably still have some. If y'all need a copy, I might can get you a copy, maybe one of my own, but I can get you one. But that's what I'm saying. Everybody, we don't know who's watching. Like, he don't know me to this day that was my story. He was my person.
Right.
And I was like, wow, if he can do it, because he told his story from being from humble beginnings from New Orleans. And I was like, oh, wow. I'm like, I can do something with my life.
And if I be honest, I didn't get a mentor or a true role model outside of my family. Like, I came from a family of entrepreneurs, right? So the people in my family, I just thought everybody worked like that for themselves.
Because that's what you saw.
That's what I saw. My granny was a domestic worker. And even being a domestic worker, my granny credit score was an 800. Her house was paid off. She always had money. Like, if you needed some money, she can make you a loan. Like, that was the person. And so even in that humble position that she had, she worked for herself. She took care of other people. And because she was good at it, she was always rewarded with bonuses. She was always traveling. She set a standard. And so when I'm looking at people, this was my example of greatness. Like, she works hard and she lives well. She pays her bills on time. She was faithful to the church. She was a worker in the church, and God had favor on her. And so I want to be a worker. I want to be, an entrepreneur. I want to be in position where I don't have money troubles. Like, I think that's one of the things that, especially in the African American community, we don't start where everybody else starts.
No, we don't. Our start line is further back.
Yes.
And that's unfortunate, but it is what it is.
Right. But I seen her, and her starting didn't start where she ended, but when I knew her, she was good. And I wanted to achieve that in life. I wanted to be good. Like, okay, let me have 800. I go to the bank and they give me
what you want.
I can remember distinctly going to a car dealership. She was signing for me to get a car because I was from buy a house. I didn't need to get no car note. And the finance manager wanted to come out and meet her. Do you know how humbling that is? And so when you start to see stuff like that, you aspire to be that. You aspire to operate in greatness like that.
And I don't want to throw race into this, but that skin color was like, because unfortunately, a lot of us growing up to where we are now, we didn't know about credit scores. Let's just keep it 100. Correct. Some of us today, our credit scores are not where they need to be.
And we know now.
Right. But we know we're doing better now, because guess what? We talk about finances. They're always being brought up on different television shows, podcasts, just talk shows. Now we have better insight into our financial world and what that looks like. And like you said, you was trying to get a home back then. A lot of us didn't aspire to get homes. Like, I bought my home, I believe I was 27, 28-ish, right in that area. And I tell people, you have to see, the vision has to be there for you. And if you don't see it, it's not nobody. So like you said, we started the race way back here where others have started way ahead of us.
Yes.
So that truly makes a difference.
It does. But when you see it, so I truly believe, again, being humble when other people are looking at me, when you see somebody who come from where I came from, right? Because I ain't lived in my granny house. We lived in Haynes Garden. and we lived in Haynes Garden in the crack era, where it was rough, where they're shooting, where you have to get down, where people riding through and just randomly shooting, where people are getting high in the breezeway, where you know what the smell of crack being smoked smells like.
Oh, wow.
Right? That's the era I came up in, where my friends in my age group were getting on drugs. I've never done drugs, but I could have, because it was right in your
environment.
And so when you come from an environment like that, it is a blessing and a curse. I learned how to hustle, right? From watching. So if I would have grew up any place else, I don't know if I could be where I'm at, right? It wouldn't have worked out. Well, God has favor and he would have figured it out. But my hustle came from my humble beginnings, from being in a situation where I'm watching people, corner boys, go out there and run to the cars and they hustling, and they re-upping and they starting low, and then they elevating and getting more money. And so some of those same principles, right? Does that sound ironic that I didn't get this from my MBA?
I would say you sure didn't get that from a classroom setting.
I have
textbook,
one, but I got this from watching. And so from those humble beginnings, I learned how to hustle. I learned how to make money. I learned how to reinvest. And so I have that to my advantage, but it's hard to survive in a hood setting.
I want to ask you this, because speaking of watching, I've watched your journey. So let's talk about how your journey went. You had storefronts. And when I say, we talked about the storefront with your brother, but I've seen you in, I may not have the order right, but I know you've been in Rivergate Mall, you've been in Green Hills Mall, and now in Opry Mills, back to Opry Mills. So what was that journey like? How did that all come about, getting you to the mall settings?
So y'all ain't gonna believe me when I tell you, I quit corporate America 2016 March, and I started I started making candles. When I tell you we were making 400 or 500 candles a night, I ain't had nobody sell them to. I was getting in position because God told me. He had already told me, like, get in position. And I started making. And then my brother finally said, who we finna sell this to?
Oh!
Because we were going to beauty shops and barber shops. We didn't need the volume I was making. And I was like, I don't know, but something's finna happen. He said, let's get in the malls. And I said, we can't go. I said, it's expensive. We can't go in the malls. He was like, well, let's try it. So we reached out to Cool Springs and Opry Mills. Opry Mills answered first. And we went July the 1st, 2016. And we were an instant success.
Okay.
And so we stayed there for 3 years. Well, while we were at Opry Mills, Rivergate came knocking because they seen we were doing well. And Yankee Candles closed in Rivergate Mall. And so when they came, I dismissed them. We're not going to Rivergate. It's the dying mall. Well, they called back again. No, they went through my website and reached out again. And they was like, can you at least come and do a pop-up shop? And so I called the lady back, and my friend Stefan, he's gone on to glory now. He worked at Opry Mills at Aeropostale. He was the manager, but I was doing his taxes that day. And I was like, here go Rivergate sending me an email asking me to come do a pop-up. And he's like, well, let's just go out there and see what they talking about. So me and him went to Rivergate, and they gave me a good deal to come do a pop-up shop. It was Valentine's Day week. I had inventory because I was getting ready for the Southern Women's Show. Again, when God for me is ready for me to do something on a level, he puts it in my spirit to go ahead and start having overflow. And so we went to Rivergate for a week. It was during tax season, and we made some good money. And I said, whoa, let's try this again. So we came back in March, and the second week in March, what they were charging for rent at that time, we had already made for the year. And I said, well, we'll stay till December. And then closer to December, we came back. In mall life, when you are a small business like me, they can displace you. So that used to be a Yankee Candle. So if another bigger candle company wanted to come, they can knock you out of that space.
Oh, wow.
So we signed like a 3-year lease for Rivergate because we were doing really well, and it was lower overhead than our bigger place we had a kiosk at Opry at the time, and we had a store at Rivergate, and we were making more money in the store than we were at the kiosk.
Okay.
Because the difference in mall life and culture, a place like Opry, it's a lot of people there always, but everybody's not there shopping. When you're in a place like Rivergate, you're intentional about going there to shop. You're not there hanging out. You're not there to do something. You're there shopping. And then when you come across us, we're going to present to you, because we got a hustler's mentality, our product. We're not going to pressure you, and you're going to be like, oh, I need to go get that shea butter. And then once you become our customer, it's easier to come to Rivergate and even just come in that door just to come see us. And so we stayed there for 6 years. So we were there from 2018 to June. May the 31st is when we closed. And so I knew that Rivergate was transitioning into what I didn't know. So when it was close to our lease being up in 2022, I said, okay, we got to get in position. So we went to Green Hills, Black Friday 2021. And we built out a store. If y'all had the opportunity to see our store, it was nice.
You know, look, by the way, Nicole is my cousin. You know how to go support you, cousin.
Yes,
so I was there, the family.
It was phenomenal. And so we were in a space that was really nice.
Yes.
And although we were on a wing of the mall that was less travel, we were at an entrance. And so we had the opportunity to meet a lot of people, see a lot of people. And we really thrived there. But remember when I told you that when you're a small business in a big place like that, and somebody else needs that space, you're pushed out. And so that's what happened. We were moved. It's now a sports bar where we originally were.
Oh, social. Yeah, I've visited.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that's where you were.
It was. So probably their kitchen or something is my old space. And so we had to move, and the new space just didn't fit us. And so once that lease was up, I had to make a really hard choice. And the choice was we were leaving that mall, and that mall was really nice. The customers there were really nice. We attracted some new customer base, new people who had never heard of us, so we were introduced to new people. But the new spot just did not fit Air Illusions, and so we go back state. We were still at Rivergate, but again, Rivergate is transitioning, and it's talks of they're selling. They're turning it into condos, and the traffic just really stalled instantly at Rivergate. And once I went to a store, now see, this was my ego. My ego said, I went to a store, I'm not going back to a kiosk. My ego said that. And
you just said a mouthful, right? She said her ego. Did y'all catch that?
My ego made that decision. My ego said I went to a store. I was in a store. Not just went to a store. I was in a store in Green Hills.
That's
right. And we were doing it. Like, we were thriving in a store in Green Hills. And so for me, it was a step back to go to a kiosk. But then, so back to how God favors me, even in season, out of season, in spite of me, I went back to in obedience. Like, when he tells me to move, I move, and it happens. So May the 9th, we went back to Opry Mills, right in time for Mother's Day, which ended up not being, it was a non-event because we wasn't there long enough. So we went back May the 9th, in a small kiosk like we started in 2016. And the first day we were there, the lady said, would you like that space? And it was the kiosk we're in now. It's big, it's huge. I was like, sure. She was like, well, it's not available yet. It'll come open July the 1st. She was like, but if you're going to get that space, I need you to move. And she wanted me to move to an area of the mall I didn't want to go to. And I was like, okay, we'll do it. But we went down there and we did pretty good. We came back to our space that we're in now, and we've done better there than we ever did any location.
You know what? It's something that God, I just hear something speaking right now, the word movement, move. It's just something coming in this space right now that he's speaking. Sometimes I get these things because I feel like that's a word for somebody that's going to listen to this episode, that listen for God's voice. Stay out of your head. Know that the plans that God has for you. Every now and then, I know y'all be on this podcast like, this girl, here she go preaching. But I promise y'all, that's what this podcast is about. It's about me fueling you with what God places on my heart to tell you. Because as somebody, this may not be for you. And it's okay. But right now, he is speaking to me to say, move. Somebody needs to hear the words move. And it's by Nicole that she keeps that word, how she has to put what she thinks she wants to the side and move and get in position for what God has for her. I need somebody to hear that, because it's resonating not only with me, but I'm sure it's going to resonate with somebody else. Be prepared to move when God tells you to move. Yeah, let people talk. I know, like we keep talking about lifestyle or what people gonna think. You can't be worried about that in business.
Oh,
people gonna talk about you. They gonna start all kind of rumors. She must couldn't afford Green Hills or whatever. Whatever the case, I'm not saying that that's what people said. I'm just knowing how people operate. But listen to God.
Two things. One, Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans that I have for you. That's what I got. As soon as you said that, for I know the plans that I have for you, wants to prosper you, not hurt you or cause you no harm. That is mine. That's on my vision board, so that I know. Now, this journey ain't been easy. I lost it all
Yes.
in 2013. But I almost lost my mind.
That's the part of entrepreneurship that people don't understand.
Right. And so, I go to therapy. I'm not ashamed of that. And so last year, I'm telling the therapist, I said, give me a year, I'll be back. Right? Mm-hmm. Give me 1 year. And it took about 10 months. But the thing is, I succeed in public, right? I'm celebrating. You can see my accomplishments in public, but you can also see my failures in public. And that's one thing that you gotta have some thick skin, because one, who would know that I left because they moved me from here to here?
Right.
Who knows that they had an option to give you 30 days, and if you don't take the new spot with the increased rent, not the same rent, if you don't take the new spot with the increased rent, then you just get out.
My.
They don't know that. They don't know. And it's not for me to tell them.
Right.
Because I just want to tell you, don't give up. Trust God. I can't tell you what's for you. People always come to me and they want to quit their jobs. Well, baby, I don't know what to tell you. Are you in position to quit your job? Right? Because I don't have a lot of household expenses. I have very low overhead for my life. I have very high overhead for this business.
Right.
And if I had a $3,000 mortgage and no husband, I would have to move different. Not that I wouldn't try to figure it out, but I might not be able to leave my corporate job and do this, especially in the beginning.
And I want to stop you right there because I want to add to that to say, a lot of times people look at somebody's life and be like you said earlier, oh, if they can quit their job, but you said something. What are your expenses? Like, I don't have kids. I don't pay daycare. So we know daycare is expensive. So you and your household, whether you're a single mom or you have a husband, boyfriend, whatever the case may be, your bills look different than mine. That's what I tell people all the time. Some people be like, because you have a husband, sometimes people don't know. Just because I have a husband, y'all don't know what that income is like. And I'm always transparent with people, and I tell people, yeah, my husband makes great money, but when he's in construction, he drives a concrete truck. So I'm just going to put it out there like this. If you know the weather we have in the wintertime, he don't work, we don't eat. But of course we stack up for that, but I like to say it that way so you understand. If the days that he's out, there's no pay. It's like being an entrepreneur. The days you're not making any money, you're not making any dang on money. Exactly. So you have to know how to store up, bring those ties to the storehouse and plant those seeds so that you will have money when it's time when there are times that are going to be hard. People don't understand that.
And there are some times when it's just not there.
Yep.
Hello? It's just no. And are you willing to make the sacrifices? Right? I work a lot. I work a whole lot. I work 6 days a week, period. And sometimes 7. I work no less. I work 10 hours minimum, and some days 16, 18-hour days. You know, I sleep 8 hours every day. But I'm spending a lot of time on my business, and that might means I have to sacrifice other places. I have a mom who has Alzheimer's. And so my sister definitely helps me, and she holds a lot of the weight, but I still have to be present.
Right.
And that's a task in itself. So when you look at me, right, I might not be what you see may not even be real. Right? Like, if you look at me from the outside looking in, what you see may just be an illusion. In my world, like air illusion, but it just may not be reality. Like, everything that looks good ain't good. So don't base what you gonna do off of what I'm doing.
Right.
If you want to know, ask me, and I'm transparent. I'm gonna tell you, like, babe, this take a lot. I have a lot of expenses. Some people can't pay $72,000 in rent. Right?
Right.
That's more than most people mortgages.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Right? That's a lot of work to even be in position to pay that type of rent.
Because whether you making it or not, then people want their money.
You gotta get paid.
And that's what I tell people. When people ask me, because oftentimes everybody knows I have a boutique and I have a suite. And when people come to me, they be like, Qiana, I think I want, what do you think? I always say, Number one, can you afford it? And your business is doing good now, but count those as I always now give the example of COVID and say, so if everything was to shut down and then people still want their money, can you afford it? I mean, I just be real with people. And I always tell them, but go do what you think is good. Because I don't want to tell you something. You might go and flourish. It might do. So I always give that same spiel. This is just stuff that I tell people to look at because I've been through COVID. I know people still going to want that rent money. And then people say, well, you think I should quit my job? I say the same thing. Write down all your household expenses. Can you pay these things for, I always say, like 5 years out without having a job and still pay whatever the rent is on your storefront?
Well, if I had to do that, the answer
would be no. I just said to be real because most times you can't, because when we just think about, oh, you only have enough to sustain for a year. Well, that's not going to get you through business, and then stuff going to come up. What if they increase your rent like you were saying? Mm-hmm. Like you've been there a year or whatever. I don't know.
I wasn't even there a year and my rent went up $1,600.
But you get what I'm saying? That was unexpected. What I'm saying is unexpected expenses. Do you have enough money for when unexpected expenses come? Can you afford the insurance on that business? It's a lot of stuff that comes. Yes, it's not just about how good you are at selling and about getting products. It's about the overall. You have to think about everything. Yes. Not just, oh, it look good if she can do it. You got to factor in everything.
Absolutely. And so when they say that saying, the dream is free, but the rest of it the work part ain't free.
The hustle's
not free.
You got to have it in. Can you go to work when you don't want? It's been plenty. Yeah. We always talk about, I know they get tired of hearing me say how hard I work, but people don't realize, but that's in me. Like I call myself the Energizer Bunny, baby. It's in me. No matter what, if I got something to do, people know by now, Qiana gonna be up 2, 3, 4 in the morning. She clock in at 6, but guess what? I'm not gonna miss a beat on either thing that I do. Yes, I be tired. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to y'all, act like, oh no, I don't be tired. But that comes with sacrifice. I'm the one that threw all this stuff on my plate. And in truth be told, I just sit here was talking to you before we started recording, told you what. And then I think I want to be a comedian. Y'all want to go try stand-up comedy. Now, when I got time to do that?
But I want to
do it.
But the desires of your heart can become your reality, and it doesn't matter what it is. If that's something that you want to do, you should pursue it. And you just never know where shifts will come. If you would have asked me 15 years ago when I started these businesses, I just had graduated from college. I thought I was going to be an attorney. I was going to be an attorney. That was the dream. And I started candles and taxes in the same year. And I already was a realtor. And I sat back and I said, wait, Nicole, you already got a tax business. You're a realtor. You can do everything you need to do with just this. And then I said, okay, well, I'm going to go back. I went back and got my MBA because I was going to go get my CPA. And then I already have thriving business. And I said, we don't have to do that. This is what we want to do. We can do our bookkeeping. We got a tax business. This is enough. So sometimes your dreams can change.
Right.
And you can give yourself permission to say, I don't want to do that no more. Right? And I got more debt than I need because I thought to be in position to get a CPA, got to have so many upper accounting courses, upper level. And so I done went back and got 2 masters. So I got an MBA, then I got a concentration in accounting.
Okay.
And I didn't, in hindsight, I didn't need that. But at that time, that's what I wanted. That's what I was aspiring to. And so we can switch our dreams up.
Yes, you definitely can. That's what being a dream chaser is all about. It is pursuing the dreams that are on your heart at that given moment in time. It's always going to change. Life changes. Life happens.
Yes, it does.
Yes.
And life happens. And so I don't care who you are, what you are. If you're going through this thing called life and you pressing and you pursuing whatever, you might get some hiccups. You might get some bumps in the road. And when your building burned down, you might have to regroup and go someplace else. When the rent go up and they move you from this place to that place, you might have to regroup. You might almost lose your mind. But if you stay focused, you stay pressing, things will work out in your favor.
So how do you deal with all these responsibilities? And I'm sure you get burnt out. So what is your stress relief? What do you do?
Go on vacation.
Okay, that's what I'm talking. Thank you. That's what I say. Go on vacation.
I go on vacation. That's my thing. And so for other people, it may be going out to eat. It may be going to get a massage. I'm not a shopper, so retail therapy is not my thing. I don't like shopping.
I need you to like shopping and go on their website, theclosetsprince.com, and get you 10% off with the code podcast. Yeah. You like how I did.
You know what? When I need something, I call you.
Yeah, you do. I will give her credit for that. She does shop at the Closet Experience.
I call you and I say, can you put me something together? I'm going on the news. Can you put me something together? I got this thing. So, but that's not my thing. That's not my release. My release is going on a vacation, maybe going out to eat, spending time with my family. I work a lot. So a Sunday dinner, that's my... Wow. And
you be over there cooking in her sister Twanda, my cousin. You be over there cooking in sister's kitchen. And what is that? Is that like a stress reliever for you?
It is.
Okay.
But I don't have time to do it anymore. So now that I'm in a thriving mall that's like really moving, this is beyond what I was expecting. Thank you, God. Thank you. Thank y'all for supporting. So the people out here who support us, thank y'all so much. We're in position. I really feel like we're going to the next level. I've always felt that I had something. I know when I tell you, when I say I'm in the top 2, top 3, like I know this, I feel it. Like it's real, not, oh, you told me. No, I know it to be so. And so we're moving, we're elevating. We're getting in position. Things are about to happen. And we finna be nationwide, international brand. And
I agree with you. I'm touching and agreeing right now.
Yes.
Because you got something. And I'm not just saying, because my favorite is that fire.
That fire is fire. We call it fire because it is
fire. So how do you empower your team to stay motivated?
You know what? I don't even think we have to. They get the product. It's energy. Energy is transferable.
Oh, we just talked about
energy.
That. Yes,
it is. And so we just did the TSU homecoming, and one of my nieces, Trinity, was out there, and baby, she out hustled all of us, and she's excited because of the product. She's excited because of the texture and the smell, and just the consistency of it. So when you got something like this, I don't think it takes a lot. Like, long as we stay true to the brand, stay true to the product, I think our people are going to be inspired. And we share the wealth.
Yes.
Right? So when we do good, everybody do good. It took a long time to get there. We didn't start off like that. When I first started, I paid people in plates.
Look, I'm trying to get like you. I got to get me some employees. I got to shift some things around, but yes.
I pay people in food, but
I paid them in food, concert tickets, and a whole lot of stuff. Because it's sometimes business, when you're growing, you just don't have it at the moment. You're trying to get it all together.
But I will say this. Wherever you find yourself in business, and if you're doing something and it only takes you to do it, you're probably not doing something on a big level. Not that you're not doing well, but you're not doing it on a big level. But when you need other people and you can't really afford to pay them a wage, you got to make sure that you respect their time, you respect what they're contributing to you, and you give them a return on their investment. Because time is our most precious commodity.
Yes, ma'am.
And if somebody gives you their time, you got to give them something back. And if that's nothing but you be successful, right? If that's nothing but you be successful, and people will be so proud that I contributed to that. But don't you dare have somebody coming out there giving you their time, their effort, their energy, and then you lay down because you tired.
And that's one thing that I do not do. I tell Keita all the time. She said, well, I can't tell. You keep talking about you tired, but you keep going. Because I tell her, because I know I'm doing it not only for myself. She's giving up the sacrifice for being at her home with her babies, her husband. And I keep telling her, baby, I got you. I owe you my kidney, my arm, everything. I said, this ain't easy. But I'm glad that she's always down for the ride. And she knows that I got her. And I'm not just talking. She knows when I get like, I'm going to get it all together. I got you. Just let me get this the way it's going, and I got you.
And don't take it personal. My dreams belong to me. God has given them to me in my sleep, in my subconscious. As I'm driving down the street, he whispers to me, and I own them. I own them. They're personal.
Yes, ma'am.
And so if I wake up today and my sister don't want to help me, I can't blame her. She may have her own set of dreams and aspirations and goals that she wants to do, and giving to me and pouring into my cup may be draining too much from her, and I can't hold that against her.
That's powerful. I'm shaking my head because that's so powerful.
So you got to get the people who are willing, or not just willing, because she may be willing, but she not able because she got her own thing.
Right.
So you got to get the people who are able to be on your team in that season, and it may just be for a season.
Yes.
And then God will keep giving you the people that you need along your journey, and don't you hold it against them, because this life, I can't be so entitled to demand your life be about my dreams.
You talking to me now. I'm just like, because there's some things going on internally.
You know, people be like, my family's supposed to be my biggest supporters. No, your target audience should be your biggest supporters. Your target audience. If you sell $100 shea butter, and your friends make $30,000 a year, you couldn't have thought that those folks was gonna be your target audience, because they not in position. They might can get it once, but they not in position to continuously pour into your cup because they don't have it. They don't like, if I'm vegan and you sell fried chicken, I'm not your person. Even if we sisters, baby, I don't eat fried chicken. I can't eat that every day. I'm not your person. You need to get with some people who like fried chicken.
Your niche audience.
You got to find your audience, and if that's not your family and your friends, so be it. But if you want your family and your friends to be your target audience, then you find something that they need solved and you service that need. But don't you dare hold it against them that they ain't coming to shop with you if you're not providing something that they want. And if you go down into my competitors, I'm not going to hold that against you, but then don't come ask me for no GoFundMe's either.
What you said, because that's what I said. Woo!
Go down there and ask them to get your donation.
And I always say that, okay. And I say that to say, I always tell people, support those small businesses in your community. Because guess what? Hell world, when there's a tornado, didn't go down there and pass out gift certificates. I can name a couple small businesses, including myself, that went in North Nashville and passed out gift certificates. They didn't give you a dang on water. But when I say this, when you come to see the retail therapist and we have conversations about support, I'm not saying just support me. I say circulate that dollar in the community, because we all we have, and we look out for each other, because I'm with you. When it's Christmas time, or when your home burns down and you're looking for somebody and you come over to the closet space, I'm like, where the seeds you sold over here in this business? I know I got something, because my price range is, from $5 on up.
Okay.
Now, I'm not saying you got to support every week, every month, but I remember those who sow into me. So when there's time for me to sow into others.
Right. And I give back. I'm on Facebook, and this person that had this happen. Let me send them $25.
And I don't always make it public, and that's the thing.
And you don't
People always like, we didn't know you do it, because I'm like, that's not for you to know. I sometimes say it. There's couple families that come in, and I do a thing for Christmas all the time. My mama's, she spearheads that, and I we want to fire her because she be going overboard, and baby, I be like, Lord, I got to hustle a little harder. Yeah, it do, but I be messing with her like, we only doing this amount of. I can say we doing 5 family shit. She come with 15. Yeah. But you gotta remember, this is coming out the business fund. So baby, the business got to be doing well. You can't promise these people something, and now I got to go figure out how we gonna make it happen. But I always make it happen, because regardless, I'm gonna make it happen, because I know God didn't bring me this far not to be a blessing to somebody.
Yes.
And then that's all I know, because I've always seen my mama give back, and when you see your family give back, it's just part of the game. It's in you.
And so we just have to put it in perspective when we have people who we're asking to come and work for us, and we may not be able to give to them. And then when we, when they get to a point where they say, I can't do it for free, and we can't afford them, then no hard feelings. Like, I understand. It's sometimes that I've asked, and I only gave them some food. We went out to eat to celebrate because I ain't have enough money. And in that season, they were willing to do it. But now that I can do better, I do.
And see, that's what I'm aspiring to do better, because I want to have a payroll. I want to talk to you about, like, I read stuff but I got to get it all together, because,
Write the plan and make it plain.
Yeah, I done wrote some stuff down again. I had to revamp some stuff.
Do your business plan. Do your financial projections. It really helps you put things in perspective. When you can make $1 million and make no profit, be in the negatives. And if you don't believe it, do it. And you can still have money in your bank account, because what you have is a cash flow. Don't mean you have a net profit.
Yep.
You might have cash flow, positive cash flow, and you negative. You actually count the cost. And some things we are intangible. So we're not counting. It took us 10 hours to label this stuff. Well, that's time. Time is money. That's time you could have been sleeping. That's time you could have been doing something else to make money. So we ain't put that into the equation. We had to drive over here. Well, sometimes we ain't counting. Oh, well, we went here. No, you didn't count that. So you didn't even put in that Qiana went to the store too. You feel me? So you didn't put in her costs. So we made a lot of money, or we make a lot of cash, but we ain't make no profit. So we got to put the pen to paper and plan and strategize and level up.
I like that. I really do. Whoo, this has been such an inspiring conversation, Nicole. We're going to have to do a part 2 or something, because this was real inspiring. Thank you so much for sharing your story and your insight with us today. But before we go, can our listeners tell our listeners how they can get in touch with you on our social platforms and where you are in the mall?
Okay, so we are Air Illusions. We're located inside of Opry Mills Mall. Enter the food court, make a left. We're right in front of T-Mobile and Under Armour. We have a full store inside of our kiosk, but we also ship. So you can go to www.airillusioncandles.com. You can order and we'll ship it directly to you. And then I also have tax business, on the way tax prep. You can reach out to me on social media or call me 615-668-7676. If you also have real estate needs, you can reach me at that same number. And we also rent vans. So if you need a 12-passenger van, call me up. And I think that's all I do today.
I can say, what it looks today? What you gonna be doing tomorrow, homegirl?
We'll have to see.
Okay. And did you get your social media handles? Nope.
I'm Air Illusions _ on Instagram. I'm Air Illusions on Facebook. And on TikTok, I'm Candle Lady 615. And then I'm Nicole Dansby, and so I have my personal pages as well.
Well, thank you again, Nicole. Real talk. Embrace setbacks as opportunities when things don't go as planned, when you face obstacles, failures, or even personal hardships. Remember that it's not the end. It's a chance to rebuild, rebrand, and come back even stronger. Nicole didn't let a fire destroy her dreams. She used it as a catalyst for reinvention. So when life knocks you down, don't stay down. Get up. Pivot if you need to, and keep going. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the I Am Qiana Scales YouTube channel. Hit that notification bell so you will never miss an update with my motivational content. Go ahead and like, share, and drop a comment to let us know your biggest takeaways from this episode. Keep chasing those dreams, and we'll see you next time. Hey ladies, ready to elevate your style game? From timeless classics to the hottest trends, we've got something for everyone. Visit theclosetexperience.com and save 10% today with code PODCAST. That's PODCAST. Theclosetexperience.com. What's in your closet? Theclosetexperience.com. What's in your closet? Be sure to use code PODCAST, PODCAST, and save that 10%. Theclosetexperience.com. What's in your closet?